gentlemen, please welcome Mr. United Nations 3 years running, Craig Charles.
Prehistoric man. There he was wondering if leopard skin would ever go out of fashion, and suddenly he'd invented the wheel. Okay, he thought it was a frisbee, but pretty soon he was dreaming of cruising down to the watering hole in his convertible, a babe in the back, some serious drum and bass, blasting out the speakers just so everyone could hear it, man. Might have been better as a frisbee. But 40 million years later, and wheels are being used for robot wars. Robots bashing the transistors out of each other just for a place in our series semi-finals. Sorry, prehistoric man, but evolution, don't you just love it? Philippa, who are tonight's contenders?
Welcome to the murky depths of Heat Sea. Agent Orange here, a robot that was welded in the oven, and these guys want to thank their girlfriends for their consideration and cooperation. This is Spike with a team from Kent. Say hello, guys. Hi. Max Damage, made of bits and bobs rescued from Docklands scrapyard. Say hello, wave as I go past. This is Blade. This is a very interesting robot, was made on kebabs, coffee, lawnmowers and windscreen wipers.
That's it.
Yes, very good. And then around here we have... Look, Daisy has this very strange, oh my goodness, skipping rope design. It's a weapon that flips all the way around, just like a skipping rope. Get it? And then down here we have the Agrobot team, tougher looking than their robot. Go on, look tough. How's that? Backstabber just goes to show you what you can do in after-school hours at school using school electricity and knackered school teachers. And Razor, the stars of last year, didn't get as far as we'd hoped last year, but this year, in between wars, have conquered America and Kent. So how far are you going to get this time?
It's a bit unpredictable, but we're going to go all we possibly can.
Yeah, we're hungry.
Go flat out. Totally.
They want to cause damage, Jonathan.
Well, can anything get even a close shave on Razor Philippa? Backstabber will try. Daisy, sweet but fragile against Agrobot, hard and nasty. The flashing blade against a great looker in Spike. Agent Orange looks vivid and venomous. And in Max Damage, we're warring with dinosaurs.
Time for your weekly dose of destruction. Let the wars begin.
From Poole in Dorset, Razor.
It took 3 months to upgrade from its bruising battles in the last war. Specialist hardened sheet steel protects, and the piston pump-driven ram is powered by a car starter motor.
Hi, I'm Simon Scott.
I'm Ian Lewis.
I'm Vincent Blood. And this is our robot Razor. It's the same Razor from the last wars, but a little bit more highly modified, still with the 9 tons of awful squeeze.
This year as well, we've perfected this super-duper self-righting mechanism, so if we get tipped over, we're back in action. We're straight back onto our wheels.
And the wheels themselves at the rear have been modified so it allows for better steering.
From Bradford, Backstabber.
But don't try to stab this robot. It's got various devices to neutralize stabbing weapons. Its own ramming spike and thrusting arm can wreak havoc, though. At 1 meter high, it's the tallest in the heat.
I'm Luke, this is Sanjay and Howard. We're from the Young Engineers at Dixon CTC, and we've built this robot Backstabber. It's got, the main weapon is a swinging arm, which lifts up and down, and it's got a pneumatic chisel, which can punch holes through sheet steel.
Roboteers, stand by.
So from Poole, Razor, with Simon Scott, Vincent Blood and Ian Lewis with the beard there. And Backstabber,
3,
with teacher Howard Sanford,
2,
Sanjay Patel
1.
and Luke Perkin.
Activate.
And immediately Razor with that crushing arm comes in to pierce and penetrate the body shell of Backstabber, but just scratching down there. On the plating side of Backstabber, specially designed to neutralize the stabbing or cutting weaponry of other robots. Oh, but there's the power of Razor, and Backstabber in the pit immediately.
Cease.
May stop the stabbing, but can't drive. Backstabber, pushed backwards and into the pit of oblivion. What a shame for the young boys and their teacher. There's the power, though, and speed of Razor. And you're dumped. Razor, oh, to take on Matilda, surely not. Well, that's suicide. Matilda doesn't want to know. too early. Out on the tiles last night with dead metal. Razor, go back into your 5 o'clock shadow and relax.
Backstabber stabbed in the back. Razor as sharp as ever. But is Razor the best the robot can get? We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, let's hear it for Razor!
You were trying to get in there with the house robots as well, weren't you?
Yeah. Just a bit. There's a bit of interference down that way with Matilda. I don't know what happened.
Just between us here in the pits then, who are you after?
We'd like to pop Matilda's body.
Yeah.
Burst it inside, that'd be quite good.
Can't just pop Matilda's body. That's not very
Yeah,
nice.
you can. But we've got 9 tons of squeeze on this. Got to use it on something.
All right, go away. You're being too smug and horrible now.
The body-popping Razor dancing to victory against Backstabber. Next up, Daisy against Agrabot, but news from the pits, Daisy, mechanical failures ruled out. Binky has been brought in from the substitutes bench with plenty of time to prepare.
From Kent, Binky.
Well, don't blinky, you might miss Binky. Powered by a scooter engine, it costs £400 to build with a nose axe and battle sled as weaponry and a Kevlar body shell.
I'm Philip Marks. These are my teammates, Bill Padmore and Philip Saville, and this is our robot Binky.
It's a 80cc scooter motor stuck into the simplest design we could make to make it into a robot. It does 360 degrees around the turret and it does 50 miles an hour.
From Dorking, Agrabot.
Ooh, plenty of boot in the aggro from a spring-fired 30-inch spike. It cost £1,500 to build, took 4 weeks, has twin motors and a trio of brothers at the controls.
I'm Peter Leach, this is my brother Bob, and my other brother John. It's half our family. This is Agrobot, the other half of our family. He has a tongue which comes out the front and can get underneath and lift and tip over other robots. But the business end is the sting in the tail, the weapon. This is a stored energy via a spring cannon. We hope to make holes in all the other robots. It's built for destruction. That's what we're here for, to destroy the other robots.
Roboteers, stand by.
Binky be warned, with Philip Marks, William Padmore and Philip Saville in the team. And Agrabot and the brothers, Peter,
3,
Bob and John
2,
Leach.
1. Activate.
Immediately, Binky with a tentative assault on Aggro. There's that spike you can see. Oh, and the flame coming out of Sergeant Bash in the CPZ, the corner patrol zones. You get anywhere near there, robots, and you're in trouble. Binky on the drive. 15-mile-an-hour drive and impaled on the arena bed spikes. There, the death head skull. And it could be dead and buried Binky in a minute. There's the spike protruding from Agrobot and a drive in through the Kevlar shell. One little puncture mark. Not great damage. There's a puncture mark on the back of Aggro. Did you see that there? Again, trying to maneuver that spike to come forward. But for me, Agrobot looks unsteady and looks a little bit cumbersome. And certainly Binky fighting hard here to stay alive, but can't get away, and now impaled by the spike on one side and Sergeant Bash on the other. The spike just glancing away. Well, Binky trying to create something of a stinky in the arena. But at the moment, in real problems as Killalot comes in. There's Bash to the right, Matilda revolving, there goes the front battle sled of Binky tossed in the air by Killalot. There's Dead Metal also coming into prance and dance. They've got hold of Binky, the house robots. Agrobot wants a little piece of the action there, would be well advised to stay out. There's Matilda's nose camera. One of the Agrobot team, Bob Leach, wants to play cricket for England. Unless he stays out of trouble, he could be clean bowled by the house robots. Oh, look at that Dead Metal blade. And now the cricket fans trying to bowl a maiden over. Look! They've ripped the shell off Matilda. They body pop Matilda. She's nude. Oh, horrible. That's a nightmare. It'll stay in my memory forever. Naked Matilda. Shocking.
Well, it was nice to see Matilda coming out of her shell, but Binky was made to look dinky with a severe case of agoraphobia. Agrobot goes through.
Oh, yes. Don't forget, we're only on round 1.
Yes, I know, but, you know, to get through, it's... yeah.
Yeah?
That's what we're here for.
But there's nothing as deadly as a woman scorned. Matilda will be back, Agrobot. Next up, Blade against Spike.
From Newbury, Blade.
A rotary blade gives this fearsome machine its name with added slashers. It also contains shatterproof material, can get up to 10 miles an hour. Car parts used in the building. It's a grizzly lawnmower.
I'm Josh, captain of Team Blade. On my left, we have Jeff, and on the right, I have Ben. This is Blade. All we intend to do is smash our opponents, slash and grind with these lovely cutters. Weighs about 12.5 stone, so beware.
From Kent, Spike.
This teacher and pupil team use square steel tubing and aluminium sheeting for the chassis and bodywork, wheelchair motors for the power watch for the battering ram, shunting wedge and angle grinder arm.
Hi there, this is the team from Wilmington Grammar School for Boys. My name's David Brooker, I'm a teacher, and I teach Mark Smith and William Foster. This is our robot Spike, and we've spent the last half a year building it. It's got a steel chassis, aluminium casing, and we've decorated it with some vacuum formed plastic. We've got one weapon, which is a spike, which comes out about 12 inches, and we're hoping to, as it's our first appearance on the show, we're hoping to go as far as we can, and if we get past the first round, we'll be very pleased.
Robot ears, stand by.
Blade with Jeff Reed, son Ben, who wants to be a policeman, and Josh Ainsley. And Spike with teacher David Brooker, Mark Smith, and William Foster with the glasses there.
Activate.
And though we heard that Blade is heavy, Spike actually is even heavier and looks rather cumbersome. And look at that, immediately the fancy artwork and bodywork ripped away by Blade's rotor machine at the front. In on the attack again, Blade, with the camouflage, in case he goes into the CPZs. The house robots will be foiled by that. Are they mad? Evo! Spike! Pushing! Blade towards the pit! Sergeant Bash says, well, I'll just come in here and push you away. There's Killalot. Ooh! Get away from Killalot. Quick reaction there from Josh Ainsley and the Blade team. And again, this time, Spike up against the rails. There's Sergeant Bash with the lick of flame and the front pincers. And at the moment, Spike's ineffective. Just saw Blade there being impaled on the spikes, but look at that cutting edge there of Sergeant Bash on Spike. Another bit of bodywork goes flying. Again, they squeeze in with the pincers. Spike in problems here. And young Mark Smith and William Foster will do well to get away. Just edging out from Sergeant Bash. Killalot tentatively pushes against Blade, who dances away. Imagine having a lawnmower like that in your back garden. You can see there the slower turn of Spike. They say they do well to get beyond this first stage. Blade has shown the greater aggression and control, and certainly speed. But listen there, you can hear problems, I think, with the front blades. And they seem to have ground to a halt on the front of Spike. In comes Matilda with a little shunt from the rear, with those horns and spikes, flicking Blade up on its side. A bit of an impasse at the moment, so in comes Sergeant Bash. The house robots can do that if the competing robots get stuck together. And spinning away now, Blade. Bashing against those arena spikes. Again takes on Spike. And it's cease. It should be all over. It should go to the judges, but what's this? The Blade boys want more. I think that's after time. They've dumped Spike into the pit. I think cease have been called.
Well, there's a bit of controversy there. Spike might be down the pit, but the time limit was up. We're going for a judge's decision. But first, let's look at some key moments from that epic battle.
And the judges vote on control, style, damage and aggression. Their early aggression by Blade and damage caused to Spike, pushing Spike against the arena walls to take further damage there from Bash. But after cease had been called, they pushed Spike down, and I wonder if that'll count against Blade. Into the pit, but too late.
Well, the judge's decision is through, and I can see a grudge match coming on. They decide that even though there was some skullduggery from Blade after the time had lapsed, they are the unanimous winners. Blade go through.
Hands. All of the hands, please. He said cease.
We were shouting too much. We didn't hear a thing. We were really enjoying it. We were. Heat of the battle. We were shouting.
And you didn't hear him say cease?
Honest, we didn't.
No. Honest, cross your
True.
heart, hope to die.
Yes.
Honesty is the best policy, Big Jeffrey. Ha! But Blade through, and next up, Agent Orange and Max Damage.
From Huddersfield, Agent Orange.
The Duncanson cousins were the brains behind Spin Doctor, a finalist in the last wars. Now they're the mandarins who rule Agent Orange with its hydraulic cutter and pickaxe made from a garden fork.
Hi, I'm Phil, this is Pete. This is our robot Agent Orange. We built it out of polypropylene, which is an industrial-grade plastic, basically so that it's really light, which means we can get lots of big, nasty weapons in. The one at the front is a hydraulic cutter, which we've used to cut scaffolding pipe and metal box section, and we're hoping to have a go at Sekilot with it later on. At the back, we've got a pickaxe, which goes front and back, and we're hoping to put a few holes in something.
From London, Max Damage.
The first robot ever built by the Cunningham family. Car radiator coolers and wheelchair motors used. The body shell's 6mm thick fiberglass. It took 100 days to build, but what sort of damage can it inflict?
Hello, we are the Cunningham clan. I'm Darren. This is Daniel. It's Charlotte. This is our beast. It's called Max Damage. And Max is actually powered by 2 wheelchair motors, obviously using batteries. But his weaponry at the front is the chainsaw. And at the rear, he's got 2 circular saws, so anything that comes into close contact, it's just to fend them off more than actually do horrific damage.
Roboteers, stand by.
Agent Orange, the heavier robot here with the cousins, Peter and Phil Duncanson. And Max Damage. In the cherry picker control, Darren and Charlotte Cunningham.
1. Activate.
Immediately, Agent Orange on the attack. Max Damage, slow to get away. Very slow to get away. Hasn't got away. Has broken down, I think. There's the garden fork pickaxe hanging on. Have you ever seen a garden fork like that? In your worst nightmare. And it's a nightmare at the moment for Max Damage. And Charlotte looks embarrassed. Poor old Darren trying to drive Max Damage into life. But it's Agent Orange doing all the pushing and shunting. You're going towards the pit, Max Damage. Max Damage? You sure? A name like that? Minimum fuss. You were out. That's the most pathetic display we've ever seen in Robot Wars. Shambolic. In comes Dev Metal to give them a little reminder that they were here. After all, they'll be home before the postcards, let's be honest. A battle scar, perhaps. 100 days and nights it took them to build. Max Damage. Time wasted. Well, I hope they've had some fun being here. They've been fun competitors. Oh, at least they can see something funny about it all.
And it goes to Agent Orange. Give it up for Agent Orange.
I forgot to put the kill switch on, so it wasn't going to go anywhere. After all those hours of testing as well.
Oh, hours of testing and months of work. One little memory lapse at this stage when it's crucial. That's how nerve-wracking it gets here. How was that for you then, kids?
It was good. We enjoyed all the build-up, but we didn't want to knock them out, really, because we've had a good time with them, haven't we?
It's nice to get it out of the way, though, if you set your nerves down a bit.
Yeah, you feel like you're on the road now?
Definitely.
How far along the road do you think you're going to get?
We just stepped out the door.
Oh, get you!
A long way to go, then. But these are the qualifiers. Razor and Agrobot, Blade and Agent Orange, and this is the way they line up for round 2 of Heat C. A grisly affair. Razor and Agrabot, Blade and Agent Orange, and as the big boys take their lunch break, the diet of sump oil, nuts and bolts, let's take the weight off our feet, Craig.
Now, robots are a bit like boxers, and I don't mean they're hard, ugly, and can be quite thick. What I mean is, not all of them are like the heavyweights in the main competition, which is why, over the series, we'll also be running a middleweight competition. And it's seconds out for round 1.
Robot ears, stand by.
For the middleweight melee! Tentamushi all the way from America with Mike and Lisa Winter, who plan to gobble up opponents. Hard Cheese with bayonet weapons, Nigel Kerr and Andrew Norton, hardly mousy. Grinder, made from a wheelbarrow, team dads Ian and son William Sisson. A-Kill, started life as a model tank, Chris Delp, son Ryan and cousin Andy Braisted. And Ripper's Revenge, made of mild steel with Anthony and Donald Milnes and Auntie Jackie Holland.
Activate.
The last surviving robot wins it. Tentamushi in the spotlight there, top of the arena. Ooh, going dangerously towards Matilda. This is Hard Cheese on the attack straight away on Ripper's Revenge. Tentamushi comes back into it as well. Hard Cheese is underneath Tentamushi, which can gobble up and grind away at opponents. Grinder here to the right seems statuesque and immobilised straight away. Tentamushi on top of Hard Cheese. Wonder how that rat is faring on top of Hard Cheese. Well, he's still there and surviving, only just. Tentamushi spins away. Ripper's Revenge looks quiet. There's A-Kill. The former tank. Oh, look at the damage caused on Grinder straight away by Shunt. Puncturing the top of Grinder, pushing it away into A-Kill. Damage already caused. Look at this. Slam down through the top of Grinder. Causing major damage there. Not once, but twice. Tentamushi up on top of Ripper's Revenge. There's Matilda. Oh, Killalot picks up Archie's. Pick on someone your own size, Killalot. This is unfair. Oh, well. He's showing off. Poor old Hard Cheese. About to get grated, I should think. This is Ripper's Revenge, dancing with Tentamushi, and A-Kill again, just prodding away gently. Killalot trying to shove Hard Cheese towards the flame pit and create fondue. Ripper's Revenge being eaten by Tentamushi, but look at Matilda's blade! And there goes an antenna! And the antenna flies off Tentamushi. I wonder if that'll create control problems. Look at this. Ooh, off you go. Ripper's Revenge still surviving. Killalot top of your picture. Ah, Welsh Rarebit. Let's have a toast to Hard Cheese. Soon to be out of it, I should think. Ripper's Revenge and A-Kill and Grinder being powered away by Killalot. Ripper's Revenge flipped them over! Revenge from the arena spikes on the Ripper. Oh, look at that from Shunt. And this is dead metal on Hard Cheese, shredding away. Ripper's Revenge being tortured by Shunt. Hauled around the place. L-plates, no wonder. When he can learn control, come back and play with the big boys. Say the house robots to Ripper's Revenge. This is Tentamushi, still alive. You can just about see the Grinder underneath. The perfect foil for enemies. Trouble is for Tentamushi, the foil, I think, is hanging off the underside. Getting away from Matilda, though, and coming in on the attack of A-Kill. Hard Cheese is out of it, don't worry about them. Killalot just pushing it away, aye. Tentamushi. Still life in there, and for A-Kill too. Yeah, you can see the foil underneath. Just hanging away, dodging away from Shunt. Well, this is a valiant effort from the Americans. Mike and Lisa Winter. Shunt trying to cause damage. Matilda and Killalot there just standing idle. A-Kill trying to get away from dead metal. In comes Shunt on Tentamushi, buckling. Oh, and down on the top of Shunt. I wonder if that's caused problems for the remote control on Shunt. I think Shunt can't move. Tentamushi lifting itself up, perhaps trying to get that grinding blade into the action. Look at the debris on the floor of the arena. Oh dear, that's the rat underneath A-Kill. Pushing it towards the flipper.
Cease.
A-Kill survive. So too do the Winters and Tentamushi. This one will go to the judges. Between the two of them. And we wait to see the judges' decision. Well, hard cheese tossed into the air by Killalot, the first to go. Hard cheese on them. Grinder. Ooh. Punctuated, to say the least. This is where Tentamushi lost the antenna from Matilda, but it still survived. That's the main thing. Grinder finished. Akil, you see, just staying out of danger's way. Tentamushi nearly buckled there and beaten, but again surviving, coming down and causing problems with the control of Shunt, who now comes in on Ripper's Revenge. There, the death tattoo on Ripper's Revenge, but Akil surviving. And the judges say it's a draw. Tentamushi celebrate and Akil too. A draw between the two. Both survived and get the draw.
And more from our middleweight soon enough. Now, though, time to pile the pounds back on as we return to the heavyweight championship.
Oh, yes, Craig. Back to the big boys. Tonight's semi-finals. The underdogs, I think it's fair to say, Blade and Agent Orange, and the crowd favourites, Agrabot and Razor.
Well, the insults are already flying. What did you just say about Agrabot?
Looks like a baboon.
A baboon.
One of those ones that eats your...
Do you know what they said about us?
What did they say about you?
They said the pit's warmed up ready for us. Can you believe it?
Oh, it's outrageous, flying
I said we were
backwards
calm
and
until we heard
forwards.
that.
Who will
Yeah,
win,
done it.
Razor, Agrabot? I don't know, but it's great fun while they're insulting each other.
Bit of a grudge match here. Agrobot and Razor.
Roboteers, stand by.
Agrobot first to rip the shell off Matilda, though Razor and the team of Simon, Vincent and Ian had wanted to get there
3,
first.
2, 1, activate.
The Leach brothers against the firm friends of the Razor team on the attack, trying to get that crushing claw, cross between a claw and a beak, to get some purchase on Agrobot. I wonder if the shape of Agrobot will prevent that. There you can see the tongue underneath Agro. And there, purchase gained in on the side wall of the arena by Razor. You can hear a crumpling noise there, but is the damage sustained just superficial? I don't think so. No, you can see gashes there as Razor spins away, comes in on the attack again. And now one thinks of the flame wings at the back of Agro. Now you see, Razor can gain a grip on things like that. Agrobot turning away. We thought earlier on it might be a bit of a cumbersome robot, but showing good control and bashing back in on Razor there. Steering away from the CP's edge, the corner patrol zones, a little bit of flame flicks out from the corner. There's Dead Metal waiting with its huge pincers. Agro came in and nearly got the piston ram into action there, but Razor was quick to move away, and now pushing Agrobot once again. Scratching down on the surface of Agrobot, but again, only superficial damage, really. You've seen very little damage caused on Razor in the entire battle. But look at this, it's found a weak spot on Agrobot! Crumpling, tearing, rending, ripping, shredding! Is Agrobot immobilized there? No! Comes spinning away! There is life in Agrobot yet! In goes Razor once again to try and claw down another scratch, but the main damage there, look! On the rear, underneath the piston battering ram, which droops melancholy now. And, well, Razor's gone up in a pirouette of delight, and I think has immobilized itself. Are they celebrating too early? The wheels are spinning. And look at that back claw on the arena floor. It stabbed itself into submission, surely. And I think the Agrobot's inconsensitive, but they've got into the CPZ. Agrobot, oh dear, the Leach brothers, what are they doing? And they've been punctured there and pinned down by Shunt. Oh yes, this is what Robot Wars is all about. Killalot coming in, the sparks flying away off Razor. Ha ha! This is beautiful. Machinery, mangled, murderous machinations and mayhem. The sparks fly, the blades come hacking in. This is what we dream about, but for them it's a nightmare. It's happened before to Razor in the last wars. And Razor's in problems. I don't think Razor can move. I think they've broken down. And suddenly it's Razor! Goodness me, Razor's toppled! Razor can't move!
Cease.
And Razor is out! What a turn-up! It's on fire!
Well, what a humdinger! The winner is Agrabot. Both of you come up, lads. What went wrong? You did this to me last year.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
See the arm, see the arm stuck in the air.
It's like hydraulic difficulty.
Last year you went out with like a little washer that you...
And this time the piece is about that big and it's stuck up.
Yeah.
That's why the arm's right in the air.
Yeah.
My money was on you again. It's one of the best robots here, but something always goes wrong.
No worries.
Listen to the Agrabot posse.
Yeah.
They brought a crowd, didn't they?
That's the fun of robots here.
Never mind, lads. Good luck, and hope to see you back next year. Yeah.
Thanks. Will do. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it for Razor. Well, you must have felt a little bit wary about that fight.
Yes.
Very wary about that fight. He was one of the favourites. It was my favourite. I thought he was going to go on and win this.
So do we.
No, we did not.
So you've taken out the favourite. Do you think you've replaced him there, then? Definitely. Durability. You brought a serious fan club with you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Agrabots.
Well, that'll please a lot of people, wouldn't it?
It won't please anyone. This is such a gorgeous robot. Somebody in there said, how can that robot lose? It's too sexy.
Oh, sometimes it happens.
Bad luck chasers.
Yeah.
What was it? Why were you stuck?
You know what it is? The hydraulic valve's jammed, but usually we can cure it by adjusting the controls here. And usually, well, it's worked every time, but just out there, it didn't. So
Amazing,
it's
just when it
one of those things.
But some of the damage you caused.
Yeah, we didn't do enough actually. We disabled them. We just don't know. But that's usually a self-curing problem. But it's only a game. Yeah.
It's only a game, right. Yeah. Destiny says you go through.
And we'll be back.
Yes.
Did a bit of cosmetic work.
Just a little bit. Can I have a look close up at what happened around here?
Yeah, it's spoiled the paint a bit.
When we drew Razor, we knew we were going to have a hard battle. But you go in to win, that's what we're here for. You come in to check a bit of damage, so we got some.
Good, you certainly
Only
did.
battle scars.
Worried about the damage? We don't care a jot, say Agrobot. Next up, Blade against Agent Orange. Wonder what sort of tactics Blade will use this time around.
Same as last time, straight in.
Yeah, straight in, bit of slashing and ripping. Yeah, that's it really. We feel pretty confident. Ish.
Rising towards the arena gods in their red shirts from Newbury, the Blade team. And there, Peter and Phil Duncanson and Agent Orange.
Roboteers, stand by.
Blade is certainly the quicker of these robots. Josh, Ben and Jeff, and Agent Orange, and the cousins.
3, 2, 1, activate.
And it's Peter and Phil Duncanson who take Agent Orange to the centre of the arena. They're the great cutting claw now at the front, wide open, like some great insect mandibles, jaws ready to clamp on Blade. The front rotors spinning wildly. Aggression coming back in on the attack of Agent Orange, but Agent Orange seems to have Blade clamped there. Oh, and in comes the pickaxe. Like some mental woodpecker. Gone astray, gone mad. As Blade spins away, very dangerously towards Matilda, and those ferocious eyes burning bright in the middle of the night. Oh! And up goes Blade, flipped by the arena spikes coming jumping out of the arena floor, and Agent Orange here can cause damage not only to the Blade, but the underside of its opponent. Just pushing it back towards Matilda. Great tactics being used by Agent Orange. And Peter Duncanson and Phil Duncanson. Peter loves throwing himself down a hill on his belly. He calls himself a land diver. I call him a little bit foolish. A little bit on the brainstorming side. Agent Orange flipping that big pickaxe backwards, forward, like some metronome, trying to create a beat on the arena floor. And there goes Matilda. After good work by Blade, pushing Agent Orange into that CPZ. Matilda's tusks underneath Agent Orange. Oh, tusk, Matilda, you should have finished it off. Agent Orange bashes back. Good stuff. Real rumble going on out there now. Rumbustious stuff. Away from the flames. Agent Orange turns. Almost like a great hippo flicking a fly off its back, look, with this pickaxe. And in comes Blade on the attack. Oh, those blades can cause no damage there. Spinning against thin air. Agent Orange. Ooh, just slowed here to a halt, I wonder. In comes Shunt on Blade, but Agent Orange hasn't moved for a while. Just turning very, very slowly. The Duncanson boys, I think have problems there. Could be a major problem. Certainly, paint and tape ripped from the side. Blade spinning. A jig of delight. They think they've won it.
Well, we've gone for a judge's decision, and the decision is 2-1 in favour of Blade. Blade goes through.
Danced a kind of semi-dangerous tango for most of it.
Did right
really,
at the start. When it first minute was a bit all right. Looked promising anyway.
It wasn't the most exciting battle we've seen here on Red Bull now. I'm sorry to say it. I know it's very rude. But you know, next time we come back, come out with sparks flying and things.
Well, we'll still get a judge's decision.
I think it was because you were too evenly matched.
And they dance themselves dizzy. Agent Orange, Blade through, and Agrobot, of course. And there's the Heat C final. Blade against Agrobot.
Two robots about to go head-to-head for a place in our series semi-finals. What is it? It's the third and final round.
Live from the front line, as they go into battle.
The Agrobots. We work all day and we work all night. We've come here to fight, and fight we will.
We just want to get it over and done with, because the lawnmower played on there. My mum comes back off holiday tomorrow, and I'm going to have to put it back. Yeah.
So it would be called No Blade?
No Blade, yeah.
We couldn't be fighting a nicer bunch of guys.
Thank
you very much.
I wish we could say the same about you.
Let's hope they'll be doing this after the battle.
This is how Agrobot got through to the Heat final. First of all, Binky spiked, and then ripping the shell off Matilda, who has a long and brutal memory. Razor causing damage to Agrobot, looked the favourite, but in trying to create more, pinned itself on the floor, and Razor was out. And the Blade boys through against Spike on a judge's decision, Spike taking damage. This was after the ceasefire had been called. They celebrated, but it was skullduggery. And then another judge's decision put paid to Agent Orange, leaving Blade through to the final.
Roboteers, stand by.
Agrobot. No tiny tots. Time in knots. The nasty Agrobots. And Blade with John Ainsley, Ben and Jeffrey.
Captivate.
Little Ben's heroes, Bruce Willis. And he'd love to see some great attacking adventurism in the Willis style from Blade. Agrobot, is it dragging Blade? Is Blade doing the pushing there? With those rotors in the front. Certainly the nippiest robot we've had in the heat. Blade spinning away from the flame, and also Shunt in the corner patrol zone, you can see there. Agrobot with the tongue lashing in the front, and the Spike in the rear. Looks like some great tank out there, doesn't it, with those nasty eyes. Gruesome teeth. Oh, and in comes Shunt there with the great axe going down to create damage. Let's see if it did cause any. No! That's very rare. 3mm thick steel with shatterproof polycarbonate aluminium on the top of blade. And it's paid off the design. No damage whatsoever. And that must be worrying for the Agrobot team, pushed against the wall there. And stuck, I think. Are they immobilised against the wall? In comes Blade. 1 or 2 shoves, no damage caused, but Agrobot is freed. Well, no lying in their cots for the Agrobots. Out they come, but very, very slowly. And I do think Agrobot is in trouble. There's just a suspicion of smoke as well there. Can you see it? I don't know whether Agrobot's on fire or whether it's the flame from the pit. It's being edged towards the pit by Blade. And Blade here is the surprise of this heat. And turning up the heat now on Agrobot. Well, the Blade boys lived on kebabs while they were making this robot. And at the moment, it's Agro. Ooh, sheesh. It's being cooked there on the spit. In comes Dead Metal. And ready to grind down on the shell of Agrobot. Took 4 weeks to build by the Leach brothers, Agrobot. In comes Killalot. The end is nigh, I feel. That's a painful grimace on the front of Agrobot. Lifted into the air, spun against the blade of Dead Metal. Churning and grinding and sparking. And it's spark out Agrobot, I should think now. Simply hauled towards the pit of oblivion, or maybe more damage, because you now belong to us, Agrobot, says Killalot. Ha-ha! What's this? On to the flipper! Cease. A finale flipper for Agrobot. Beaten in the heat final. Roly-poly, topsy-turvy, over and out. A merciful ending as well after the damage sustained to Agrobot. There, look at Dead Metal's Blade. And Blade the winners. A major surprise.
Agrobot malfunctioned. Torch chopped and flamed. Blade goes through to our series semi-finals. Well, if a tiger gets angry, he'll show you his claws, but we'll show you flamethrowers on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
A duet from Tom Jones and Catatonia's Keris Matthews joined Kingston with Top of the Pops on BBC One next.